Assalamu rahmatullah.
All I was saying was my father had briefed me on what's going on, and I said, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm proud of y'all. For the sake of Allah, I love y'all for the sake of Allah, I'm doing better, man. We all gotta take chances, and, we've been almost a lot right now, so I just wanna let y'all know that we're with y'all 100%. When I get out of here, inshallah, ASAP before October or during trial, how to go, I'm gonna leave back out. When I told them I wanna come down there and see y'all, come speak to y'all. So, what I'm saying? Get y'all math right, get y'all brotherhood together and get on the team. I love y'all for the sake of Allah.
Love.
Hey, Pop, I'm gonna mix up.
Stop everything. Because what Lil Durk just said from behind those cold, steel prison walls has the entire internet in meltdown mode. Fans are crying, bloggers are reposting like it's breaking news, and the streets of Chicago are buzzing like a power line about to explode. But here's the real question. Was his birthday message just an emotional thank you to his supporters or a coded warning to the music industry that he's coming for blood when he gets out? Because the tone wasn't what anyone expected. No tears, no weakness, just calm, eerie confidence. I'm doing better, man. We all got second chances. That line alone sent shockwaves through social media. Like he wasn't talking about redemption, but revenge. Think about it. This is Lil Durk, a man whose name has been linked to everything from mysterious label feuds to underground beefs that never made headlines. And now, from inside a federal cell, he's suddenly preaching peace? Something doesn't add up. Fans are split between heartbreak and conspiracy. Some say he sounds defeated. Others swear it's a coded message to someone specific. But who? And why now on his 33rd birthday? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear next might change the entire story forever. They say time stops in prison, but when you're Lil Durk, time becomes a weapon. October 19th, 2025 wasn't supposed to be another ordinary birthday. It was supposed to be a celebration, a comeback, an album drop, a global moment. Instead, the world got a trembling voice note that cracked the internet in half. The same fans who once screamed his lyrics at concerts were now replaying a muffled prison audio whispering, "Did you hear what he said?" The clip didn't come from management, not from a PR team, not even from a label insider. It came from someone inside, a guard, a cousin, maybe a fellow inmate, and that's what made it dangerous. Because when Durk's voice surfaced, calm but cold, it didn't sound like a man defeated. It sounded like a man plotting his next move. Second chances, he said. Two simple words that threw the industry into a frenzy. Within hours, Twitter, or whatever we're calling it now, turned into a war zone. Hashtags like hashtag Free Durk, hashtag Deep Thoughts, and hashtag He Knows were trending worldwide. Some fans cried, saying it was the most emotional moment of his career. Others said, "Nah, this isn't peace. This is a warning shot." One post even claimed Durk's message matched a verse from an unreleased track he recorded before his arrest. A verse about betrayal, fake brothers, and a snake wearing diamond chains. Coincidence? Or was Durk hinting that his downfall wasn't random, but orchestrated from inside the game itself? To understand this moment, you've got to rewind. Because Lil Durk's story has never been about fame. It's about survival. Every album, every feature, every heartbreak turned headline, all of it was a chess move. But October 2025 changed the entire board. For the first time, Durk wasn't the player. He was the piece being moved. The feds had locked him up on murder for hire charges, a case so tangled it made hip-hop history look like a Netflix crime doc waiting to happen. The arrest wasn't random either. It happened just weeks after reports surfaced of a label split, quiet management changes, and rumors of betrayal from within his own circle. Insiders whispered about encrypted messages, deleted accounts, and studio hard drives that mysteriously disappeared the night before federal agents showed up. And then came the silence. For months, nothing. No statements, no leaks, no music. Just stillness until that voice message dropped. It was short, barely a minute, but every second dripped with tension. When I get out of here, inshallah, I'ma leave back out. Fans caught that phrase instantly. Leave back out? Some thought it meant he'd leave the streets behind. Others said it was deeper, that he was promising to walk back out into the industry and expose everyone who turned their back. Either way, it was personal. Even more shocking, the timing of the message matched with rumors of a private meeting between Durk's old management and federal investigators. Screenshots surfaced, unverified of course, showing supposed email exchanges about cooperation agreements and asset protection. But here's the twist. Days after those leaks went viral, every post was deleted. Every account that shared them suddenly went dark. Coincidence? Or cleanup? Meanwhile, behind bars, Durk wasn't fading, he was studying. Multiple inmates claimed he'd been reading legal books, taking notes, writing verses late at night. One anonymous source from the facility said, "He's not broken, he's plotting." He says when he comes out, everyone's gonna see who is real. That's not just prison talk, that's purpose. Because while most people counted him out, Durk was slowly turning his sentence into strategy. Fans noticed small patterns too. The snippet released on his birthday wasn't random. It included coded lines referencing 33, his new age, and rebirth. Even the melody carried the same tone as his early drill era, as if he was circling back to where it all began. The internet dubbed it Durk 2.0, but others called it the reawakening. Whatever you name it, one thing was clear. This wasn't the same Lil Durk the world left outside. And you know what made it even more suspicious? His enemies went silent. Rappers who once threw shade in interviews suddenly stopped mentioning him. Industry blogs that lived off his controversies suddenly pivoted to other topics. It's like everyone decided, all at once, to act like he didn't exist, which only made fans more curious. What did they know that we didn't? One Chicago-based blogger, who claims to have federal sources, posted a now-deleted thread saying Durk's case involves more than just music beef. It's business, it's betrayal, it's blackmail. According to them, prosecutors were investigating communications tied to entertainment contracts and underground payments. Sound familiar? It should. That's exactly how half the industry launders reputation, through ghost deals and dummy companies. The scary part? The names mentioned weren't small. We're talking label heads, promoters, even social media managers tied to billion-dollar platforms. If that's true, Durk's silence might be protecting more than just himself. It might be protecting an empire that doesn't want to be exposed. But the fans aren't stupid. They started digging too. Reddit threads appeared overnight, linking Durk's second chance line to an old 2022 interview where he warned about people using your loyalty against you. Now it all made sense. Maybe he knew the trap was coming. Maybe he walked into it on purpose. Some even claimed his arrest was staged, that Durk was cooperating with private investigators to take down a larger operation that stretched beyond music. Sounds wild, right? But this is the internet, and wild is exactly how the truth spreads. Even mainstream outlets couldn't ignore it anymore. TMZ, Shade Room, XXL all ran vague headlines like, "Fans react to Lil Durk's emotional message from jail," without actually playing the audio. That's the trick. Act like you're covering it, but don't give people the full story, because the full story might raise too many questions. Like, who leaked the recording? Why wasn't it blocked? And why did the clip appear first on an unverified account connected to a known industry fixer? Someone wanted that message out. Someone wanted the world to hear him. By the end of the week, Durk's prison audio had over 40 million views across platforms. But behind the sympathy posts and crying emojis, a darker narrative was forming. That Durk wasn't sending love. He was sending warnings. When I Get Out wasn't about freedom. It was about vengeance. And if you listen closely, the tone, calm, almost too calm, felt rehearsed. Like he knew the world would dissect every syllable. Industry insiders began whispering. If Durk's message was really a warning, who was it aimed at? One rumor pointed straight at a rival artist. Someone who allegedly used Durk's legal chaos to secure a multi-million-dollar endorsement. Another name floating around? A label executive known for losing masters when artists go independent. See the pattern yet? Everyone who benefited from his downfall had one thing in common: silence. And right as fans started connecting the dots, a new account appeared on X under the handle @VoiceStillActive, posting cryptic lyrics that matched unreleased Durk songs. Nobody knew if it was him, a hacker, or someone from his team. But the posts stopped just as quickly as they started. The final tweet? He warned y'all. 33 equals rebirth. That was the moment fans realized this isn't just about a rapper behind bars. This is about a movement. And whatever's coming next, it's already in motion. That Voice Still Active account disappeared overnight. But by then, the damage was done. Screenshots were already circulating. TikTok edits were made, and YouTube reactors were posting Lil Durk's hidden message explained videos like it was a national emergency. One clip alone got 3 million views in a day. A guy breaking down the numbers, 33 equals rebirth, as if he just cracked the Da Vinci Code of hip-hop. And here's the thing, nobody from Durk's team denied it. Not one manager, not one label rep, not even the lawyers who usually jump in to call things misinformation. The silence was confirmation. It made people believe that maybe, just maybe, the message wasn't random. Maybe Durk was using social media as his personal megaphone from inside the system that tried to silence him. Then came the leaks. Out of nowhere, an audio file labeled Deep Thoughts pre-release surfaced on Telegram, supposedly an unreleased verse Durk recorded weeks before his arrest. The verse wasn't mastered, just raw vocals, but the lyrics were venomous. They sold my name for protection. They used my faith for attention. Fans went insane. Within hours, hashtag Deep Thoughts trended again, and conspiracy threads were calling this the second message. One anonymous Reddit post claimed the leak came from a drive seized by federal agents, meaning the song was never supposed to reach the public. So, how did it? Either someone inside leaked it, or Durk had orchestrated the drop himself. And that's when the story got bigger than music. A journalist from Rolling Stone hinted that Durk's case might involve digital surveillance, burner phones, and secret recordings tied to his record label. Another outlet, Hip Hop DX, quietly published and deleted a line saying, authorities suspect a financial network tied to high-profile influencers may have financed operations linked to the case. Translation? They're accusing industry people, not just street players, of being involved. But social media wasn't buying the criminal narrative anymore. They were framing Durk as a whistleblower. Think about it. A man known for loyalty, suddenly locked away, talking about second chances and betrayal. The math was adding up for fans who believed he'd been set up. TikTok detectives made video essays connecting every lyric, every gesture, every jail photo to hidden meanings. Even rival rappers started dropping cryptic tweets like, "The Voice ain't done talking." Coincidence? Please. Meanwhile, inside the facility, rumors swirled that Durk had gained influence. Not through violence, but through respect. Guards allegedly said other inmates called him the pastor, because he'd spend hours talking about loyalty, loss, and faith. One insider quote spread like wildfire. He told us, "They think they buried me, but they planted me." That single sentence turned into a slogan. Fans printed it on shirts, captions, and even murals in Chicago. The message had evolved from pain to prophecy. And then came the footage. A 17-second clip leaked online showing a man who looked like Durk, sitting in what appeared to be a visitation room, nodding and saying, "Tell him the Voice still here." It wasn't confirmed, but it didn't have to be. The lighting, the tone, the body language. Fans believed it was him. Within hours, the clip had over 10 million views on Instagram before it was taken down for privacy reasons. But it was too late. Once again, the internet had seen enough to fuel 1,000 theories. The reaction from the industry was priceless. Major artists suddenly started posting subtle Free Durk stories. Producers were hinting at unfinished collabs, and streaming platforms saw spikes in his older catalog. Even those who once distanced themselves began pretending to care. Hypocrisy at its finest. But deep down, everyone knew they weren't showing love, they were covering tracks. Because behind the sympathy posts, something bigger was unfolding. A quiet panic. A leaked internal email from a major label executive allegedly warned staff, "Do not engage in public statements regarding Lil Durk's case until further notice. Pending sensitive developments." Sensitive developments? That phrase sent chills down everyone's spine. It suggested there was still a layer of the story that hadn't reached the public yet. Something explosive enough to make billion-dollar companies nervous. And guess who broke that silence? None other than a controversial hip-hop blogger named Tay in the city. She went live, claiming she received exclusive screenshots of messages between a former Durk associate and an unnamed federal contact. According to her, those messages hinted that Durk's team had offered information in exchange of leniency, but the deal fell apart when a recording of that very meeting leaked internally. She didn't show the screenshots, of course, citing legal reasons. But she didn't have to. Her live had over 200K viewers, and the damage was already done. Suddenly, everyone was asking, was Durk really betrayed, or was he the betrayer? The narrative flipped overnight. One side screamed, he's a victim of the system. The other whispered, he snitched. Neither side had proof, but both were loud. That chaos? That's exactly what keeps stories alive online. Every repost, every reaction, every rage tweet, all feeding the algorithm while Durk stayed silent. Smart move or divine irony? Either way, he was winning the attention war without saying a word. Then, the biggest twist yet, a voice memo surfaced on a fan page, allegedly from someone close to Durk's family. The audio was grainy, but you could make out a woman crying, saying, "They can't hide the truth forever. He's going to tell it all." Whether real or not, it reignited everything. Fans called it the prophecy tape. Bloggers claim it confirmed the betrayal theory. And one YouTuber even linked it to an encrypted SoundCloud account that uploaded mysterious beats with titles like Snake Skin, Loyalty Tax, and Final Call. Each track ended with a single reverse vocal sample that, when flipped, allegedly said, "The voice never dies." Creepy? Absolutely. But captivating. And that's the genius of Lil Durk's mythology. Even silence becomes content. Every breath he takes inside that cell turns into speculation, and speculation becomes currency. In 2025, rumors make more money than records. And Durk? He's the stock everyone's still buying. By mid-October, even mainstream TV couldn't ignore it. News anchors were asking, is Lil Durk communicating coded messages from prison? One late-night host joked, Drake's somewhere updating his notes app nervously. But behind the laughs, there was fear. Because if Durk was somehow controlling his narrative from inside, it meant the industry had lost its grip. Meanwhile, back online, one final twist surfaced that made everything spiral again. A federal court document leak hinting at sealed evidence tied communications with external digital influencers. Translation: they're investigating someone outside the music scene who may have helped spread Durk's message. That meant the Voice Still Active account wasn't just a fan. It could have been a collaborator. Someone helping him from the outside, feeding the myth, keeping the flame alive. And just when fans started demanding answers, another mysterious post appeared. This time not from any known handle. It read, "The voice returns before the verdict." It had no profile picture, no followers, nothing. But the timestamp? Exactly 3:33 a.m. You can't make this up. That's when people stopped treating this like gossip and started treating it like prophecy. Forums renamed the whole saga The Voice Revelation. Conspiracy channels uploaded entire documentaries about his 33rd birthday code, tying numerology, Quranic verses, and even astrology into one theory. And somehow it worked. Durk's name was everywhere again. His streaming numbers tripled, and the same system that caged him had accidentally made him immortal online. But the real storm wasn't even here yet, because just as the internet crowned him the resurrected voice, prosecutors filed a new motion, sealed from the public, and Durk's next court date mysteriously vanished from the docket, gone, like it never existed. And that's when everyone realized, whatever's happened behind those walls isn't over. It's just beginning. When fans realized Lil Durk's next court date had completely vanished from the system, chaos erupted like gasoline hitting fire. Reporters flooded federal court databases. Legal Twitter went into meltdown, and every gossip page turned into a courtroom analyst overnight. Cases don't just disappear, one journalist tweeted, unless something very powerful is happening behind the scenes. And that's when the whispers began, that Durk hadn't just gone quiet. He'd gone off the grid. Theories exploded faster than his streams. Some said the feds had transferred him to a secret facility under protective custody. Others swore he'd cut a deal that involved exposing major industry figures tied to money laundering through fake artist contracts. Then came the craziest claim of all, that Durk had already been quietly released under sealed terms, living under federal supervision until his official verdict. Of course, none of this was confirmed, but online, confirmation doesn't matter. Perception is reality, and the reality was that Lil Durk had just become hip-hop's most mysterious ghost. But there was something deeper happening. Days after court Vanishing act, his verified Spotify account suddenly updated his bio. Just one line, "The voice still lives." No promo, no management tag, no hashtag, just that. Within minutes, 200,000 people screenshot it before it was taken down. Hours later, his official YouTube page, dormant for months, posted a 9-second black screen video titled Rebirth. The description simply read, 333, that number again. The same number from the leaked message, the same number fans connected to Rebirth. Within 24 hours, it hit 12 million views. The timing was suspicious. Right when everyone thought Durk was gone for good, suddenly, his digital footprint came alive again. It wasn't random. It felt orchestrated. Someone, or maybe Durk himself, was pulling strings from a place nobody could reach. Even hacker groups started taking credit, claiming they were helping deliver Durk's truth to the people. But one post stood out. A user claiming to be a retired engineer from a major streaming platform said the upload came from an encrypted location in Atlanta, not from prison servers. That single revelation reignited everything. Now the world was asking, is Durk out? Did he escape? Did someone on the inside upload it for him? And if so, why wasn't anyone stopping it? A hip-hop insider told the Shade Room anonymously, if that man is out, you won't hear about officially. He's too valuable to expose right now. Valuable to who though? The system that locked him? Or the one he was threatening to expose? Then, in the middle of the madness, something happened that changed the tone entirely. India Royale, his longtime on and off partner, posted a cryptic Instagram story. Some voices never die. Some love never fades. Hashtag Forever Durk. Within hours, it disappeared. But fans noticed a background song, an unreleased Durk track nobody had heard before. Lines like, they counted me gone, but I'm still breathing, and tell my sons I'm coming home sent shivers through the fandom. Every lyric felt like a direct confession. Some believed she had access to unreleased music. Others believed she had access to him. At this point, even Durk's rivals went silent. People who used to diss him suddenly turned cautious. No one wanted smoke with a man the internet had turned into a legend before his return. You could feel it. The atmosphere had shifted. Durk wasn't trending out of sympathy anymore. He was trending out of fear. Then came the next twist. A private email leak allegedly from a PR agency claiming they'd been advised to prepare reactivation assets for a major artist pending legal clearance. No name was mentioned, but fans decoded the metadata, and it led straight to Durk's previous management domain. It couldn't be coincidence. Someone was gearing up for a rollout. But rollout of what? A documentary? An album? Or something darker, like a public takedown? And right when things couldn't get weirder, DJ Academics, who had been unusually quiet through the entire saga, finally went live. His tone was tense. He didn't laugh, didn't crack jokes. He said, I ain't gonna say too much, but y'all need to understand something. This ain't no rap story no more. The stuff Durk got his hands on, it's bigger than music. He wasn't lying when he said second chances. Somebody upstairs realized that locking him up might have been the worst mistake they ever made. Then he abruptly ended the live. Within an hour, clips were everywhere, fueling Conspiracy storm all over again. Meanwhile, deeper corners of the internet were connecting dots nobody dared say out loud. Some claimed Durk had been part of a covert industry cleanup, where artists caught in scandals are reset quietly through federal deals to expose black market financing. Others said the government realized they couldn't silence him without causing a cultural riot, so they chose to let him vanish in plain sight. One theory even suggested Durk's release wasn't physical, that his voice, his message, was being used through AI to keep his influence alive digitally while the real man stayed hidden.